understanding, and from understanding to accompaniment. 1. Introduction. An interdisciplinary analysis of religious non-affiliation. Jan E. Stets. The idea for this book began several years back when I first mentioned to my friend Jim Heft that I was struck in reading about the ever-increasing rate of individuals in the United States who were not expressing any religious preference. Indeed, when I looked at the pews in my own church, there were fewer individuals, and most were older than 50. Over the course of several conversations, Jim and I decided to create this book to better understand this phenomenon. While the two of us had not collaborated on a project before, what we shared within our respective disciplines was the value of interdisciplinary work. This became the focus for the book. We agreed that we could not discuss the non-affiliated in America without approaching the subject from an interdisciplinary perspective. We did not know of any work on the non-affiliated that had taken this approach. We also thought it was necessary to study the multiple ways in which this phenomenon could be understood. Consequently, we set out to find scholars from the different disciplines in the social sciences and humanities who were experts in this area and who could present original work on the non-affiliated from their disciplines. We then added some insights from professionals in the field who are concerned about this issue. In general, we think we have given the listener much to think about regarding the non-affiliated. The book is divided into 4 areas: who the non-affiliated are, where they come from, what some consequences of non-affiliating are, and how we might address the challenges of non-affiliation. At the end of most of the chapters, the contributors share their views on non-affiliation. They address whether the upward trend in non-affiliation is something to appreciate, lament, or both. In the epilogue, Jim and I give our reflections on this issue. My goal in this introduction is fourfold. First, I provide a general overview of the religious non-affiliated in American society. This affords a context for the chapters in the book. Then I provide an overview of each chapter. Following this, I bring some of my own thoughts on the topic by discussing the non-affiliated from an identity perspective. As someone who studies identities of all kinds, for example, gender identity, racial or ethnic identity, spousal identity, and moral identity, the religious identity involves identification with a religious group and incorporating into oneself all the meanings that characterize membership in the group. If religious identity is either waning in society or taking a new form, I give the listener an opportunity to see how we might understand the non-affiliated through this lens. The chapter ends with a postscript, a more personal note on the non-affiliated. This book does not capture all there is to say about the non-affiliated from an interdisciplinary perspective. For example, given the cultural change in communication, which is now digitally mediated, the Internet and social media may be places where individuals find alternative communities to their local religious ones. More research needs to investigate the extent to which this is occurring, so that we will be in a better position to determine how much online behavior is replacing offline interaction, and whether sharing our religious beliefs is taking new forms. As another example of what might be missing in this book, at issue is whether the increasing trend in non-affiliation has any negative physical or psychological consequences. Aside from membership in a religious community offering a meaningful connection to others who share values associated with the sacred, does religious membership provide instrumental aid, such as physical help or financial assistance, and emotional social support that fosters better psychological health and well-being compared to non-membership? Do mortality rates, life-threatening diseases, life satisfaction, and depression significantly differ for religious affiliates?